Welcome to Love and Murder. I'm your host, Char. I'll be joined by host Ky. In today's episode, it's out of sight, out of mind. Most of us dread cleaning out the refrigerator. There are leftover boxes of Chinese takeout, spoiled milk, that half-eaten sandwich, and the occasional chopped up body parts. Oh yes, of course, it's my wife. Stay tuned. It's Love and Murder.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to a new episode of Love and Murder. I am your host, Ky, and I am joined by my illustrious, gorgeous, wonderful, smart. I don't know what else I could put on there. I guess. Host Char. Char, how are you doing today?
Well, with that intro, Ky, I'm doing fabulous. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. So we are the hosts of this great true crime podcast called Love and Murder. And Love and Murder is about just relationship crimes gone horribly, horribly wrong. And when I say horribly wrong, Char, how wrong do I mean?
Dead wrong.
Dead freaking wrong. Instead of somebody getting out of the relationship, they choose to kill the person instead.
Yeah, a lot easier sometimes, right? Until you get caught.
I mean, stupid stuff people do. Right. I don't think it's easier to kill somebody. I think it's actually easier to say, hey, you know what? I'm done with this. Peace out and leave. That takes actually less effort, burns less calories, less stress.
You don't have to. Missing is the crimes of passion. It's a relief for the person that's sick in their head, and they're it's like they're releasing some type of a built up tension. According to psychologists, when they interview people who have literally just snapped, so it's not, so that's why they don't take the easy road. It's like, why bother? I get a release out of this. Especially,
what else gives you a release?
What is it?
Sex.
Okay, see, some of these murders, they do that first and get that release. Even if it was legally someone, their wife, who should just consent to that naturally, the fact that they're in control at the moment is a release. And then they have that grand finale of, oh, I did it. She's dead. I mean, I know it sounds sick, but it's just something. Well, when you're sick in the first place, when you're deranged, I mean, the things that go on in a deranged person's mind, who could ever explain it? Me, I wouldn't do it, but that's why it's called snapped. Some people do have premeditated murders that they're searching for weeks. Okay, this is when I'm going to pull a knife out, and over here is where I'm going to strangle her. Then I'm going to drive her over to the desert. Oh, that's right, I have a butcher knife. I'm going to chop her head up first, and then some people do this. They strategize, and others literally didn't plan to kill the person. Dead. They didn't plan to do it. So it's just a number of murders that we cover, forensic stories that we cover. They don't always know. It's not always planned. I know they're sorry after the fact, because who wants to rot, in a 4x4 cell? But hey.
I mean, I hear the ones that aren't planned, crimes of passion, trying to get away, self-defense, stuff like that. I guess crimes of passion, I don't give a pass on that. Self-defense is the only one. Everybody else, you could have just walked away. I mean, everybody other than self-defense, you could have just walked away. You need to learn to control yourself, and that's a problem with a lot of people. You need to learn to control yourself. And if you get to the point of snapping, you should have walked away before you snapped. Everything else, I don't agree that there's an excuse. Self-defense, yes, he was beating the snot out of me. I really thought he was going to kill me. I understand self-defense. That's all I understand.
I agree. I do agree with that.
So that's what I gotta say about that. Anyways,
that's Ky's take on it, y'all. Everybody.
So check us out on any platform that you usually get your podcasts on: Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, iTunes, TuneIn, Google Podcasts, Amazon Podcasts. We're everywhere.
WeAreRadio.com. Okay, I made that one up. Never mind. But we're probably there. No, try it, guys. Listeners, we're probably there. www.weareradio. That's what she said. I think that's what Shari said. Yeah. They're not. Wait, what's going on? No, what?
I don't understand what's happening right now. I don't know what's going on right now.
We're everywhere. When you're not looking for us, we're gonna pop up.
Oh my God.
11 Murder.
Anyway,
Under the covers. Oh my God, it's 11 Murder again. Oh, there they go. In the closet, 11 Murder. Oh no. They're watching me. Yeah, we are.
After that craziness, let's move past this, shall we? Anyway, follow us on social media. The links will be in the show notes below, and I'll say them at the end of the show. If you just don't like reading, you want to hear me say them, I'll say them at the end of the show. If you want the craziest, funniest, just blow your mind episodes, you can check out our bonus episodes on our Patreon. Become a subscriber and you will get crazy bonus episodes every week. Sometimes it'll be 2 bonus episodes. It just depends on how we feel. If we just want to surprise you and gift you with another episode, you might get 2 bonus episodes. You'll get behind the scenes and everything like that. But you have to become a subscriber of our Patreon. Just go to patreon.com/love and murder and become a subscriber of only $3 and up. Your subscriptions, which is basically your donations, help us in purchasing new gear so that we can bring you more clear audio, get new equipment to bring you better stories and stuff like that. If you have listened to our show before or just even listening to this episode and you like it, then please go to Apple Podcasts and give us 5 stars. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
4, 5.
Say whatever you want in the description. But what it does is it helps bring us up in the charts and helps others find our podcast very easily. Another thing you could do, which is absolutely free, is share our podcast. Just share it to all your social media followers, friends, family, stalkers, whatever. Share it to them.
Neighbors.
So,
man.
Yes, share it to them so that they can come and find our podcast and y'all could discuss it. So, with all that being said, Char, let's get into this story.
Woo, that's a lot of time.
I know, right?
Yeah, I'm excited to hear about today's episode. Let's do it.
So, normally, I'm going to start this episode out like this. Normally, I like to bring y'all information about everyone's early life, like they were born in October 1985 or whatever. Unfortunately, for this couple, I couldn't find anything about them. Nothing. Nope. So, what we're going to do, we're just going to fast forward.
Cut to the chase.
Exactly. And this case is about Elizabeth and Matthew Sullivan. This is a fairly new case in terms of when it went to trial and everything like that. The case actually happened, or the issue, let me put it that way, actually happened in 2014, but the trial just now happened, like last year.
Crazy, yeah.
Yeah. So, like I said, it's about Elizabeth and Matthew Sullivan. So Elizabeth and Matthew met in Virginia, where Elizabeth grew up. And Matthew, who was in the Navy, he happened to be stationed where Elizabeth grew up. So they had a really, really brief romance, and they ended up falling in love, and they ended up getting married really quickly. So, usually we call that the honeymoon period, where you think like everything the person does is the greatest thing, and oh my God, look at how he chews and look at how he walks, and his arms are so strong, and just that crazy way he eats his food is just so endearing, and everything turns you on. He scratches his butt, you're turned on. Oh my God, did you see?
You're like, oh, I love him
exactly.
so much.
So they were still in the honeymoon period when they decided to go ahead and get married. So they actually got married in 2010. Don't know exactly when they met, but everyone says it was a really short whirlwind romance, and then they ended up getting married in 2010. And right after they got married, they then relocated from Virginia to San Diego, California, because Matthew had to POS there. So that means he received orders from the military and they tell him where to move. If everybody doesn't know, they usually give you like a couple options. And sometimes they just tell you where to move, and sometimes they give you a couple options and you could choose where you want to move. But outside of that, you have no choice. They'll say you can go to Japan, you can go to Germany, or you can go to California. And, if you wanted to stay in the States, well, screw it, I'll go to California then. Or sometimes they're just like, hey, you're POS into South Korea next month, and you'll be there for a year.
Yeah, pack your things. There's no negotiation.
Yeah, there's no negotiation. So he had to POS to San Diego, California. So they went ahead and moved into her home in Point Loma. And although Elizabeth loved her husband, this is why you take your time and get to know the person you're with. She wasn't aware of the hardships and loneliness that comes with being a military wife. So I'm the daughter. I know you don't have familiarity with the military, but I'm the daughter of a military family. So my stepdad was usually downrange, which is they go and do, I don't know what they call it, play military games, quote unquote, which is like they play war and, train and train and train. So they actually leave the house for like 2 weeks at a time. I think it's 2 weeks every month.
The TDY?
No, you go downrange. That's what it's called.
Okay, downrange. Well, Ky, I was going to ask you to share with our listeners your experience, because we both actually do have experience. I don't have as much as you. I was married into military experience via marriage. So out of 20 years of marriage, we were in for about 5 years. So, but for you, didn't you have, and we lived in Italy as well, like over, abroad, in Europe and Greece, but didn't you have an experience living or growing up in Germany due to your father's military status? What was that like?
I mean, I loved Germany. Yeah, we were in Germany for like 3 years. I was a little girl.
Did you have to move often, though, after that, when you got back stateside?
No, because my mom, so by the time we moved back to the States, I was in junior high going to high school, and my mom kind of wanted me to stay in the same high school. So my stepdad just PCS'd by himself.
Wow.
Yeah, he PCS'd by himself. And did I say POS before? I meant PCS. I'm so sorry.
I thought, okay.
Yeah, PCS. He PCS'd by himself. He went to, different countries. But he would stay gone for like maybe a year or two.
Wow.
I wouldn't have mind moving, but my mom was thinking, maybe some stability, but I had already gotten used to moving. So even when I was an adult, every 3 years I had to move. Like I get this itch at the end of 3 years that I've been here too long, and I start going crazy and I need to take a vacation like outside of where I am. I need to see something else, or I need to move. So it's been hard. I've tried to give my daughter stability. So we've been in the same place for her whole life, but it's like that's
just
very hard on me.
Do you think it affected your mother, though, in the sense that she's like, oh my gosh, this is, my husband's away too long. I don't know if this is okay for the family, or I'm not feeling stable and settled. Did she ever express that, or did you ever feel that she was looking for more stability?
No, she knew what she was married into. Well, he went into the military after they were married, but she knew it. She knew what it was, and I mean, I don't know. Maybe that's how she felt, but how parents don't let their children know these things. So so I don't know. She worked. She worked. She's in the medical field, so she works like those crazy hospital hours. So, and then
so she kept herself busy,
and then she had 4 children, and then she had her friends. So
busy again.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. So I guess what Ky is probably also she's painting a picture for all of you that this particular lifestyle was likely very challenging for Matthew and Elizabeth. So that's pretty much where we began with the story.
I think more so for Elizabeth, because she didn't realize what being a military wife was all about, where you're essentially a single mother. Like if y'all have children, you're just a single mother. The only difference is somebody is actually bringing in the money, so you don't have to work. You don't necessarily have to work if you don't want to. If you want to sit home and take care of your children, or you could work just to bring in extra income, or busy yourself without thinking that, hey, I'm here alone. But she didn't realize that He's going to be gone a long time, especially the Navy. They're gone to sea for long periods of time.
Yes, to see. That's right. He was in